Okay.
You're the CEO, so you not very Shabbat. Where's the... I'm very organized tonight. I wonder why it was unplugged. Maybe the preschool had it unplugged?
No, I unplugged it.
Oh, you did.
Always unplug it when I unplug it.
It's a good idea, so you can gossip.
That's exactly so I can talk. I did something here, so I unplugged it.
So you can gossip. So did you hear about that Rabbi Bear that's around here?
No. What was it?
Is that going to start the live stream?
Shabbat Shalom! That's when you do some bad acting, right? Hi. Yeah, so the Shabbat Shalom Nigun, I guess is the title.
Okay.
Rabbi Bear's favorite Shlomo Carlebach. Gossip. I dated a man once that was obsessed with him. Relationship didn't work out.
Which one?
I think that one stood the test.
It bothered him. He was not choosy.
He didn't deserve me.
Oh, I was talking about Shlomo.
I can't believe it's almost the end of October.
Yeah. It's almost November.
I know, we're almost in the winter season.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zamran?
No,
You're not
I
doing
do Or Zarua.
That's right.
Unless you want to do Zamru, we could do Zamru. Actually, no, let's do Or Zarua because it's shorter.
Okay.
I'm gonna, once we start, I'm gonna go out to the office and see if I can get them to give us small cups.
Oh,
Because there are
yes.
no small cups.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
you just keep on going.
Going. Should we light the candles now?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can keep going. It's fine. I'll just get the song list out. Yeah. finish this long list. Yeah, just for time constraints, let's do the other one. Because I really... Yeah, the Washarsky. Always Washarsky. And the other one too. Yes. When you're running on Washarsky. You know me, I'm always... I like the dude. Washarsky, Karlybach, totally different.
Yeah, they're all brothers.
Can't, yeah, no, definitely not.
Are we ready to begin?
I'm ready.
We begin with a nigun.
We better. Lai lai la lai lai hi lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai ya la 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 lai Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Lai lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai. And we'll move on to page 5 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem li Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Barichuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Zeitchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Yes. Especially our bat mitzvah girl. Come on up. Welcome. Lai, 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 ya, la, lai, lai, lai. Please rise. Lai, 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 lai. Ya, lai, 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 ya, la, lai, lai, lai. Ya, lai, 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 lai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Shabbat Shalom.
Page 11.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישירו מקדמה פניו בתודה, נריע לצור ישירו מקדמה פניו בתודה, במזרות נריע לו, לכו נרננה לאדוני, לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישירו מקדמה פניו בתודה, נריע לצור ישירו מקדמה פניו בתודה, במזרות נריע לו, במזרות נריע לו, במזרות נריע לו.
Page 16.
Or Zarua. All Zarua la tzadik u'liyishri lesimcha. 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 Lai dai 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 dai
Page 20.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. Page 21, מזמור לדוד. Please rise. מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני ערים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. הבו לאדוני כבוש בו השתחוו כוח, איי איי איי, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארצי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, בסריון כמו ורעינים, איי איי איי, כל אדוני חוצב לעבודך, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני חולל איילון, ויחשוף יערות ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, איי איי איי, אדוני למבול ישב וישב, אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז ליבו ייתן, אדוני יברך דמו בשלום, די 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 די
Page 23, Lecha Dodi. Please be seated.
First two and last two verses.
Lecha Dodi likrat kahla penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likrat kahla penei Shabbat nekabela, שמע וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה, Lecha Dodi likrat kahla penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likrat kahla penei Shabbat nekabela, לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, Lecha Dodi likrat kahla penei Shabbat nekabela. Let me hear you sing it. Lecha Dodi likrat kahla, good, penei Shabbat nekabela, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי, על ידי
Page 27.
מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נאמן, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הרונן. מה גולו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 28.
צדיק כתמר יפרח, כי ארץ בלבנון יזכה, שתולים מבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון בשבע, דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נא וקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Will all those who wish please rise and recite Mourner's Kaddish with me on page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'olma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'olmei olmaya,
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'olma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. So I'm glad you've chosen the category of halakha, Jewish law. This is Jewish law for $250. If you find a baby abandoned in the road, is it Jewish or is it not Jewish? How do you tell? Don't say circumcision. How do you tell? I'm sorry. What? Well, if it's not Jewish and you adopt it and you're Jewish, you have to convert it. But if it is Jewish, you don't have to convert it. And if it's not Jewish, you might return it to the non-Jewish authorities. The question is, what is it? And before you say, well, just convert it anyway, the answer is not just convert it anyway, because conversion requires blessings. Blessings within our tradition are important, and you don't do them frivolously. The answer is, if 51% of the population or more of the population of that area is Jewish, then the assumption is the baby is Jewish. If 51% or more of the population is not Jewish, the assumption is the baby is not Jewish. Lest you should think that that's the only question of this type, the Talmud then goes on to ask, if you find a brisket, it doesn't say brisket, but if you find a cooked brisket on the road, abandoned, is it kosher? The answer is, if 51% or more of the people in the area keep kosher, then you may assume that it's kosher. And if 51% or more do not keep kosher, you may assume that it is not kosher. Now, the reason that's so wild and so entertaining is because in today's world, that just wouldn't happen. But in the days of the Talmud, when food was much scarcer, and also the rabbis were much more flexible when it came to definitions of what was what, they had a way of dealing with what we would now call uncertainty. One of the reasons there was that type of uncertainty, and why we still have that type of uncertainty in certain areas today, is because there's a basic disconnect between those of us who are Jews and those of us who are not Jews. And it comes from the Torah. Funny you should ask, how does it come from the Torah, Rabbi? I'll tell you. The parsha this week is Noah. It might come as a surprise to you, but Noah is not Jewish. And if you think he's Jewish, think again. Because in the book of Ezekiel, Noah is identified as one of the 3 righteous people in biblical times. It doesn't say biblical times, but 3 righteous people in our times that are not Jewish. Noah is one. Would you like to guess at one of the others? Nope, not Jethro. Job. Job is not Jewish. If you know anything about Job, be happy he wasn't Jewish, because everything that happened to him shouldn't happen to a person at all. That was my Yiddish accent that went on. And the third person is a man called Daniel, not to be confused with Daniel, or Daniel. Daniel is a hero of epic proportions in Canaanite literature that we find in the literature of Ugarit. These three people are identified as being non-Jews, and each of them was an archetypical hero. Noah saves the entire world. You know, I always am amused when I walk into a Judaica shop and they've got these little fluffy things that have Noah's Ark and all the little animals on them, and we give them to our children, or we have these lamps that have Noah and the Ark and we turn it on and everything. This was serious stuff in the Torah. The world was absolutely destroyed. The only person saved was Noah. In biblical times, in the Torah, this is a momentous occasion. And the person who saved the entire world was Noah. Job is the archetypical person for whom we ask the question, why do bad things happen to good people? These are people for whom the Torah devotes a tremendous amount of space. There's an entire book of Job. And God speaks to Job directly, which in itself is a problem, because if God chooses the Jews in the Torah, then how can God speak to other peoples as well? And we're not going to dwell on that at this point. The point that we will dwell upon, though, at this time is simply that our relationships go back in the Torah. Our relationships to non-Jews, going back that far, are somewhat anomalous because they were great people and they influenced our tradition tremendously. Why is this important now? We are experiencing an upsurge in my opinion, and in the opinion of many, an upsurge in the reporting of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. I don't believe that there is an increase as much as it's now being reported. To however you feel about our country and those who lead our country, anti-Semitism was allowed to come into the mainstream. And because it was allowed to come into the mainstream of our conversations, we are seeing a lot of it. And when we see this uptick in anti-Semitic incidents and anti-Semitic rhetoric, the question is, how does the Jewish community respond? And a lot of people are asking for a unified response from the Jewish community. And what I think we fail to understand is that context matters. There is a difference between an anti-Semitic statement that is made in our community by an individual and an anti-Semitic statement that is made on TikTok. And they demand different types of responses. Sometimes they don't demand responses at all. But for us to try to come up with a unified response that we're all going to agree to, we can't even agree on what's kosher. We can't even agree on where to pray. How can we agree on what's a unified response to anti-Semitism? What is the common denominator is that we have to respond. Not to respond in some way enables. What that response is, I think, is up to the individual community and the individual families and the individual groups of where it happens, because each community is different. What happens in Texas is different from what happens in Iowa, is different from what happens in Montana, and is certainly different from what happens in Connecticut. But that means that the Jewish communities have to be more united in their own areas and deal with this. We don't know what to do with Noah, because as I wrote in my message this week, if Noah was so great, then why wasn't he the first Jew? And the rabbis ask that. And their answer, as I wrote also, is because it says he was great in his generation. One of the midrashic answers is simply, if you had transplanted him to Abraham's generation, he would not have been good. He would have been considered not good compared to Abraham. But one of the problems with that interpretation is that it defies context. He was good in his generation. He was good enough to save the world. I think that qualifies for being a good person. We'll continue with Baruch Hu on page 39. Please rise.
Just 1 second. I want the bat mitzvah girl to come up and help us with Baruch Hu. I'm not putting her on the spot, no. Sure, why not? Make it a family affair. Why not? Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Yai, lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Ha'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Ha'ed ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות של מו על חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו עולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Page 40.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 41, Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך
ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בעם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על זוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
Page 44.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ובניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי, אנו ויאמרו. מלכותך ובניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי, אנו ויאמרו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא, עושה פלא. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, ויהלום יד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We read together on page 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים עמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Please rise, page 46.
46. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשו אדוני, עשו אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי קודשה ברכו לעילה מנקור ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
The Amidah begins on page 47 and continues silently through page 51.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. 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 כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
The Mishaberach is on page 173, prayer for those who are ill. Please meet me in the center if you'd like me to remember someone's name who is in need of healing.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Please rise, page 54.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם ועל מהלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתחומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ויעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותיהון ובתיהון לכל ישראל, קדם אבוהון די ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
Please remain standing for Kiddush on page 55. We invite everyone who wishes to come up and share Kiddush with us.
Thank you so much. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך ואהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים. I can never tell the difference between the grape juice and the when I smell it. So where I'm giving the kids the wrong thing. Okay.
Page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עם העל, ושכינתו זו בגב מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עם attention. Okay, yeah. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו
This week, we remember the yahrzeits of Joyce McKinney Bean, Susan K. Goldberg, Thomas Goldberg Hart, Joseph Heyer, Bianca Hirsch, Lyle Jacobs, Israel Cantor, Lester Klein, Ben Marion, Elizabeth Ravitch Sacklid, Fanny Schneider, Ann Segaloff, Sidney Stallman, Katie Wernick, and Deborah Gale Zisman. We mourn with the Hardy family over the loss of Edward. Will all those who wish please rise and recite Mourner's Kaddish with me on page 58. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'olma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam leomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'olma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. I don't know if everyone realizes that this week we almost had the Mashiach coming, and in anticipation of the possible coming of the Mashiach, we assumed that there would be no programs next week, so we burned the announcements from the Bima. So, please.
I have them here. They miraculously fell on me. No, I'm just kidding.
Heretic. So I think there are announcements outside. It's either the announcements outside or the Mashiach is going to be there, one way or the other. But we will conclude the service with
Yigdal. But I just want to say before we conclude, Mazel Tov to the Zuflacht family for Hannah's bat mitzvah, which she'll be singing more tomorrow morning. I just want to let you all know she was a member of my children's choir a couple years ago before the pandemic had started. She has a beautiful voice. She's a little shy to show us tonight her voice. You kind of started hearing it a little bit, but she'll definitely lead us tomorrow. Right, Hannah? With your beautiful voice. Yeah, we can't wait to hear her. So just wanted to interject that in if that's okay, Rabbi. Okay, wonderful. Yigdal. We're going to end with Yigdal. יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא ויהנית אל מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורא גדולתו מלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אלם שב סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמשה עוד נביא, ומביט את תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמואל, על יד לוויו נאמן ביתו, לא יחל יפעל ולא ימיר דתו, ליולה אביב לזולתו, סובב ויודע סתרנו, נביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. אומר אל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע כאשר ישעתו, ישלח לקץ ימים בשיחנו, לפדות בחיי קץ ישועתו, מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, מתים ויחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו.
Please come up for Motzi.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Come on up for Moitzi. Don't you want challah? Come on, everybody wants challah. Challah for challah. I only had a sip of that wine, I promise.
We'll say it together. Baruch.
Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. It's like a Sesame Street.
He's gonna.
I'm gonna be up here. I'm gonna say, you know, with the picture, they only see the people. They don't see people out there. It's a possibility that the rabbi's watching us. So if he's watching us, he's gonna let him know there's 50 people here tonight.
There you go.
You know I gotta check my deodorant.
I don't think it. Yeah. Mike?
This guy has got a wicked sense of humor. I mean, I just, I'm constantly cracking up. It's a, what is it?
All right. You'll be safe.
You too. What show is that? I think it was Carson or something. Some of these high-powered TV shows in the band would just go crazy. I mean, they're laughing like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, he's really good at it. You know? She was talking about Carla, you know, how the guy she's dating is amoeba.
Yeah, hilarious.
She said the relationship didn't work out. And he said, which one?
Have you got anything going? Anything exciting?
Not too exciting. I mean, just regular things. Like I did play a concert in Georgetown last week. You know, it was at, you know, these communities, Dillwyn, Sun City, there's a Sun City, Georgetown, where it's a community where you have to be at least 55 to live in it. But I've never actually been to Georgetown. I mean, it's a long way. You know, it's a very nice area. You know, all that homes. I think it was it's just a nice community. So they had this concert, you know, and yeah, some groups played up there.
What kind of music?
The singer he was actually a semi-finalist on America's Got Talent. Yeah, he's actually from Birmingham. But you know, he trained at Juilliard, you know, he trained to be an opera singer. And actually, he was touring around an opera singer like 2001. He was touring around Europe as well, singing. But yeah, he still does concerts, but they're kind of like, it's sort of like Josh Groban, you know, it's sort of classical, but also familiar songs. Not so much classical music, you know, just the style. So like the orchestrations have piano, and it's really a band, you know, piano, guitar, bass, drums.
How do they know to come?
Well, I've known him since
He knew to come.
2009 or something. You know, yeah. Originally, he was doing an album, and the producer knew of me as a keyboard player, and so like, he called me. It was like 2009. So I started working with him as kind of his music director, writing music with him, writing arrangements, recording music with him.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, so I met him with that.
Okay. I got a gig in Berkeley tomorrow.
Oh, you did?
Some
Oh, wow. Yeah.
that should be fun. All opportunities for me to get done because I'm working and get as much as I can.
Yeah. That's cool. And you still playing at the retirement? Yeah. Yeah.
Still doing that every other week.
Oh, that's cool.
It's, great. We've been doing that for a number of years.
Yeah. You see, the bass player comes every night? Randy, that's right.
Randy he's sort of in as solo soloist. But,
Yeah.
the other two guys, I met them years ago at, what they had called
similar places, but she has, I think she does things with tracks, just like her, not tonight. She does like, oh boy! I mean, you know, it's just sterile. It is. Even if the performance on the track is amazing, it's like, it's not the same thing. Like something happens in the room with singer and musicians. It doesn't happen immediately in the track. And you almost have to kind of overcompensate to try to make it happen, but it won't happen. Because like when you're playing and other people, they're reacting to each other in the moment. It's like you can't do that with the whole band. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know, it's funny, my wife over here, I think she's come around, you know, because she loves music, but she's not a musician yet. And so, I mean, I've always preferred live recordings, you know. I mean, I love studio recordings of, you know, all things music and stuff. But I love live recordings because you can kind of feel the energy, like, you can tell that they're feeding off of the crowd. I mean, even if it's a huge band, Pink Floyd, whatever it is, you know, you can tell they're like, it's not the same thing as them being in a studio by themselves.
I cannot imagine what it must be like to be in a state filled with people. And
It's pretty amazing.
I can't believe it. You have experience it. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
That's gotta be, I mean, just unbelievable.
stay on as like road manager, but he don't really fit the look. I mean, the other guys are all skinny and kind of like young and like whatever. And he's this kind of like older than, you know, maybe not 40, but like kind of stocky, square jaw. It just didn't look right. And so he stayed on for 20 years as their road manager, but he was a piano player. And so like the song.
He not only did that, but he played it.
Yeah, the song Honky Tonk Woman, that's everything. You know, some of their famous songs, that's him right there. And so, of course, that's him on that song. You know, I looked it up, his name's Ian Stewart, I think that's him. But he's on Led Zeppelin and rock and roll, you know that song off him? That's him right there, Ian Stewart. He died in like 1985. But anyway, that's the Analyze Who's that? This is playing bass in this song. Or even today, this song, the Pink Floyd song, Mother, you know, in the wall. Jeff Carl's playing. You know, I used to hate Pink Floyd. It's like, it's them. Like, whatever it is, if you hear drums, it's the drummer Nick.
But not necessarily.
No, that's Jeff Carl playing.
Well, I've listened to a lot of really good Stevie Wonder, and
Oh, they've got a
they
lot
bring
of music.
people in.
There's all kinds of music.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Gadd's on some stuff.
They could
Yeah.
have their pick.
But I love just hearing the difference between one drummer and the next, or one piano. It's like, you know, it could be the same